second so you can. Oops. Maybe you can see if I do this right.
Yes. So I get my
Get your what?
laptop.
What do you need the laptop for?
I don't know. Just to see it.
Well, yeah, I can share this.
Sorry.
I'm just getting us on. Here we are.
Okay, we are live on
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, and
Yes,
YouTube.
you are live.
Whoa. Nobody commented. Let's go home.
Watch out, Tommy Gunn has joined us.
Tommy! Apparently Tommy was on with us last Friday, but we couldn't see him on Instagram. And I'm stuck. There we go. Now we're moving. Nope. Now we're not moving.
I hope you're moving.
Kelly Rusk is here.
Hello, Kelly. Well, they should all be excited because Petey's here. And I know they love when Petey is here.
They do like when Petey's here.
Because
It really
Petey tells
means they're
stories.
sick of us. Eh?
Tommy said, Tommy, Rich is no longer working with us, but hello, back to you. He says, hey, Chrissia. Hey, gang. Yeah, I was the gray ghost of Gotham. I see. Tommy Gun is not a cool enough nickname.
Kelly Russ says he's not sneaking around this time.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for the load up. Loading up. We got four
We have
people. Which is the entire two of them.
Poobah Petey.
That's right.
What?
You're the Grandmaster Poobah.
Oh,
We dragged
I
him
see.
out.
Now dance, monkey. Dance with the rest of us, monkeys.
Aren't you so happy
I'm
to
so
be with
happy.
us?
I'm so happy.
This is why nobody wants to come on our show.
Everybody wants to come on our show. Especially when we do Julia and Martha.
Low for it. Actually, what would be funny is to do Julia and Martha with some innocent artist.
Let's have Bill Sienkiewicz turn up.
Let's have Walt,
Don't tell him that we're going to be Julia and Martha.
let's have Walt Simonson come in.
Walt would do it, but he's busy moving right
Yeah, I know.
now. Nobody dances like Rich. All right.
And Rich didn't wear Hawaiian shirts. That's Nick out at our California office wears all the Hawaiian shirts.
That's true too. All right. Well, I have 8 people. 9 people. Come on. There's no Knicks game on tonight, guys. Did anybody watch the Knicks games last night? Because it was a good game.
Oh my God,
But
my
we
sister
lost.
came in today. Did you see the next game? It was amazing. I was like, who the hell are you? Can I have my sister back, please?
I want you to know that I hid the fact that I watched hockey from my family for like a good probably 12 or 13 years.
Yeah, I know. I only caught you once.
Uh-oh. Kelly Brett says, I don't follow hockey.
Oh. I'm sure you don't follow the Knicks either if you're in Chicago. Is Chicago in or is Chicago out? I think Chicago's out.
I think they're out.
Yeah, Kelly, I'd be quiet. Because
He's in Vegas.
the Knicks are. I thought he was in Chicago. I only
No,
shipped
Kelly
to
Brett's
him.
is Vegas, I think.
Is Vegas in? Vegas doesn't even have a hockey team.
No, I think they do. They have the Kraken, don't they?
The Krakens?
Yeah.
They're new.
Yeah, they
The
are.
Krakens?
Yeah, they're new.
Well, they're out. Krakens are out.
I don't know.
Anyway, so much for my sports talk for the day. I need Wayne. Wayne is the hockey dude because he's Canadian.
No, Thomas Dean, we don't steal the Adams family internet. Snap that thing.
Because
We like disco.
as an Adams family member, it was joyful to every day be in school and have
Oh yeah,
every kid behind you snap their fingers at
I got that at prom.
you.
went to your prom?
Hi, Sarah.
So Kelly Rez says,
Yeah.
actually, I'm in Kansas City, the Royals and the Chiefs. Okay, well. Sarah Snyder came on. Hello, sports fans. Well, anyway.
Yeah,
the
Sarah will
Knicks-
talk sports with you.
The Knicks, who have been such a bad team for so many years, actually played a really good game last night that I was like blown away.
See, and here y'all thought we were going to talk comic books here tonight.
No, tonight's sports night.
Sports night.
It's Wednesday night sports night.
Exactly.
Let's see the replay.
The Knicks could have closed it out last night.
And they blew
screwed
it. They
Wah,
blew it at
wah.
the very end.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, guys? It was, it was the first time New York went, maybe we're going to make it. And then it was like, nope, you all thought it, so it's not going to happen, guys.
No, we're taking it away right now.
We're going to go into another game. So everybody is now really going. I thought they were doing comments. I was talking sports. Why are they even talking New York basketball? Which, all right.
Blows.
So much for basketball, and now we have 11 people on with us. So don't worry, the 76ers won't beat the Knicks, and I'm a Philly boy. Okay. I don't know. The 76ers were pretty good last night. They had that one guy.
Game. Just
Maxey.
one game.
It's that guy, Maxey. Who kept scoring. It's like break his arms already, so he can't score anymore.
That guy hit the 3-pointer from just inside the half-court line.
Right, we just have to kill
Damn.
Maxey. That's it. Get rid of that guy.
Damn, that was a great shot.
All right, so it is Wednesday night.
I was going to say, I should have brought my drawing pad instead of a writing pad.
And it's almost 8 o'clock, and
it's May Day.
it's May. Maybe that's the problem. What are we supposed to do on May Day?
Dance around the maypole.
Oh, is
Right.
today Maypole Day?
Today
Yeah,
is
it
Maypole
is.
Day.
Today is.
Holy crap. Maypole Day. That brings back horror memories.
For all of us.
Not me. I never had to do that stuff. You with the hippie parents had that. My parents became cooler after that.
No, Mom just never showed you that she had a sewing machine. That's
Yeah.
where
No,
Mom went wrong.
I knew that Mom had a sewing machine because Joel and Jason got cool ass costumes. Mine was thrown together at the last minute because, oh wait, there's another child.
So now we're going from sports into shrinking of the Adams children.
But don't get me started.
How does that make you feel? What do you think about
You
your
know,
mother?
I have actually yesterday in my Facebook memories, what came up was Joel and Jason dressed in the Kiss outfit.
That was it.
And you were dressed like a little white Kit Kat. Diane was a little black Kit Kat. I, on the other hand,
Because I was
garbage
not
bag.
allowed to be Gene Simmons, is why.
And I was
Because
tempted,
why? Because you're a girl.
was tempted to post like it. And I went, no, that's the atomic bomb. See ya. And I skipped it by a day. I should have just posted it yesterday. We could have had 2 atomic bombs. See you now.
There you go.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, all right. So Thomas Dean over on YouTube is trying to bring us back to what we're really supposed to be doing here. And he says,
Hey, you guys want the family stories, so we're sharing tonight.
so he says, are we talking Neal's work? How about Green Lantern and Green Arrow with the 89 or so that I had when I was a kid at the Healy newsstand? Probably a kick-ass book. I don't know which cover that was. Which book was that?
89? Which one is 89?
I don't know.
Might be the Jon Stewart one.
Says Neal was tops for DC and surprised whatever else he did. Every comic kid that was over my age was like, Neal is king. And Mike Rock says to Pete, I pointed out your article on Rudy Nevers to his agent who showed it to Rudy. He said, Rudy found it well written and it really warmed his heart. Just wanted to pass this along.
Oh, that's
We
so
love
nice.
Rudy.
That's so nice.
We do love Rudy.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Rudy's agent is Rudy's child. Unless
Well,
Rudy got
that's
another
fine.
agent.
That's fine.
But his
I don't
son
care.
was. His son
As long as
the one.
Rudy liked it, that's
Of
fine.
course Rudy liked it. Rudy loves you. Who doesn't love you? Go
That's
away.
true.
Go away.
Everybody loves Petey.
Back to shrinking the Adams family problems.
Yeah, we have Petey come on, and then the next show that we do, they go, "Oh, Petey's not on."
All right,
No.
we will talk Neal Adams comics because you asked for it, so I will deliver. So here we go. So actually, the reason why I brought Pete on was because I figured while people were loading up, that we would actually talk a little bit about Nighthawk, which was a character that Neal created,
Yes.
that Neal and Pete worked on,
Yes.
and Pete worked on it and sending stuff to a artist who is in the Philippines, getting reference. I don't know if you dialogued or you did anything in that.
No, I did.
You did? Okay.
I did. I wrote the breakdowns. Neal and I worked on the plot, and then he gave me the task of writing the breakdowns and writing the dialogue. Did he change the dialogue? Of course he did, because that's Neal. And it's an interesting character because a lot of people look at it and they say, "Oh, this is Neal's version of Batman," but it's not. There's a whole lot of more, extensive history to Nighthawk than what you really perceive it to be. It's not just Batman.
Right, because even I thought, like, is this our Batman? Is this going to be
Well,
our
we
Batman?
thought
A continuity?
we thought it would be, but Neal extended it to a whole different level, and really his origin, is completely different than, what Batman would be. He's
Well, it would have to be.
right.
But when you visually look at Nighthawk, he's like,
Right.
he's got the eyes, and he looks like a badass.
Right, and everyone these days is working on, especially in movies, trying to figure out how to make guns more interesting. How to load guns and make them more interesting. So what Neal did was he had the guns.
Put this up. For those
Okay.
people who may not know Nighthawk, at least they
Right.
can see what we're talking about.
Right. He created this situation where Nighthawk's guns were in his shins, and so he had these gloves, and he would just twitch his finger, and the gun would shoot from his shin right into his hand, and that was really, to me, that was really interesting, especially at the time, which was like 94, 95, something like that. And then he could immediately shoot, and it was like a fast draw, but it was different. It was science fiction-y. And
So was he a man or is he a hybrid? Because I know you guys were doing a lot of hybrid-y.
he wasn't necessarily
mutiny.
a hybrid, but he was a twin. He was a character that was cloned.
Okay.
So there was an original kid, and this original kid apparently had horrible physical problems, and so what the parents did was they cloned him and grew him up probably at about the same time. So he was a little bit younger, but not that much younger. And so, but he was kept in this very contained environment. And eventually, the real kid, came in and found him and said, "Wait a minute, what's going on here? This is not right. You can't keep this kid here." And eventually he said, "I gotta get him out." So he grabbed a baseball bat and broke the glass and got him out. And then turns out that clone could survive on its own.
Cool.
So the two of them grew up together, and they were like brothers.
So what happens to the other one then?
The other one is just a normal kid.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't become like Robin or something
No,
like that.
he doesn't
No.
become Robin. He went into the military because he wanted to fly, and so he became a pilot.
Yeah.
And the clone, who turns out to be Nighthawk.
You look at the phone because Zia's going to show some.
Okay, yeah, because the
I
clone.
didn't know if you wanted me to start showing.
That's fine. It's fine. The clone eventually discovers that whatever bizarre thing that they did with him, had him create these. It created these little tiny wings on the back of his body. So, but he couldn't fly with them. That was ridiculous. So what he did was he spent his life creating these mechanical wings that he could fly with. So, and that's what he wears now. And his brother, unfortunately, grabbed his wings at some point and tried to fly with them, but he didn't have the wings.
Right.
So it didn't
So it
work.
didn't work.
It didn't work, and he crashed. He crashed horribly, and he almost died, but he survived. And that's what really drove him into the military, drove him into, flying planes. And Nighthawk, unfortunately, or fortunately, put the wings on and could fly. So, but he had built them for himself.
So were his parents scientists?
Yes,
This is in the
yes.
house.
Yes, they were
Okay,
scientists.
there you go. There's always some weird
They were
parenting
scientists,
going on.
right? And you will see in a little bit. You'll see this wonderful page where this alien ship comes down, and but Nighthawk is all about trying to right the wrongs of the world, and he's not like Batman where he just works on Gotham. He works in a bigger sense. He really works in a giant sense of the world. And the first 4 issues that we did were kind of as a precursor for AI, which I didn't realize until I reviewed it, where we create this Superman kind of robot where he's so powerful, and he has these 3 boxes. They're technological boxes that he has to have implanted into his brain. And when they put the first box in, that's the technological military box. So he becomes this weapon. And the military says, oh, we want that. That's what we want. We don't want the rest of it. We don't want the humanity. We don't want the understanding of society, nothing like that. So we just want that. So they steal him. And Nighthawk realizes, because he's part of that program, he and his girlfriend, who ends up getting killed, are part of that program. So he realizes that he has to get the other 2 boxes into this robot and make him a real, AI person. And so eventually he has to fight, of course, the robot, because it's comic books. And it's really a story about, Nighthawk saying, I have to hold you off for a certain time period until I can get you the stuff that you need. Your understanding of society and history, your understanding of humanity. And once he gets all those 3 things into this robot, the robot realizes, oh, okay, now I understand what you're trying to do to me. And I think it's a really great story. It's not Batman. It's really not, someone who gets, his parents get killed and you want to,
right. He just had bad parents who grew
Oh,
him
yeah.
in a test tube,
Absolutely.
basically.
Absolutely. His
Gave
parents,
him little
his
wings.
parents were terrible.
Right, gave him little
Here,
wings, and then had to give big wings.
Do this
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
one. Those are the two brothers, and they look very similar, but they're not the same.
Right.
And the regular brother is very upset that he didn't get this special wings and all this stuff.
Right, the jealousy of siblings.
Yeah, exactly. He's very jealous.
Even if it's messed up, I'm still jealous because that's what
Yeah,
siblings do,
exactly.
obviously.
Exactly. So, but on the other hand, the brother is the one that saved him because he could have been stuck in that test tube for the rest of his life.
Right.
So,
All right, so let's talk about the art on this because there's
Okay.
also the what did Neal do, what did Neal not do, where does Neal come in, where does Neal
created the character from whole cloth. You know, it's really his character, and he drew the covers.
Mhm. So all of these over here are Neal,
Yes, all of these are Neal.
except that Z is still panning and scanning over
Right.
there. So we have to wait for Z to catch up, or actually the pan and scan too.
But at that point, there was this artist that we were working with.
Okay, hold on. So these are the covers that Neal
Yes.
did do. Neal did all the covers for Nighthawk, and we even ran Nighthawk through Windjammer, which was part of Valiant or Voyager. I don't remember which. I think we were with Valiant
I
at the
think it
time.
was Valiant.
So I think it was a Valiant book. It was Windjammer. We actually didn't publish it because we were already starting to rock
Yeah.
with spending a lot of money and not making money back, and having problems with publishing and supporting it, because Continuity was one of probably the only companies out there that spent its own money. What we were creating through doing commercial advertising work was what was paying a lot of the publishing work at Continuity that we were doing in order to get Neal's characters out there. And we ended up running Nighthawk and Sam Marie through the Windjammer Valiant. At the time, they were nice enough to take over the printing and distribution part of it for us.
Right.
Okay, so Neal did all the covers, which
Right.
it always is great to go out with a Neal Adams cover.
Right.
Every company out there has done it a million times. The reason why we scream, is DC ever going to do a cover book? Is that exact reason. Everybody loves Neal Adams covers. It's why you buy the book. Sometimes you don't even care what's inside the book. And we've all done that. But the insides of the book actually weren't Neal.
No, they were not. They were by a guy named Ernesto Infante, and he was. I'm going to say this, just for here. I'm going to say there's two people that I've ever heard Neal say he was scared of, and the first one, and everyone's going to laugh at me about this, was Mark Beecham. Mark Beecham could draw frickin' anything. And Mark, these days is, he's got his own thing going on.
Well, he's always kind of had his own thing going on.
He's always had his own thing, and that's fine. I don't.
Right, he's just gone off to do what he likes to do.
Right, exactly.
And unfortunately, American comics don't produce that kind of work.
But he's very good at it.
But he's very good at it. And then who's number two?
Ernesto Infante.
Okay.
Neal said Ernesto Infante might be better than he is.
Now, I think I see what it is. I mean, when we always joke about this, and we've talked about it in the past, when Ernesto's pages came into Continuity, it would be a fight for that FedEx box. Neal and Pete would disappear. I'm sure they even battled out who could touch the pages first when Ernesto's pages came in.
No, I have to be honest. I would say I would hoard the box first. I would open it, I'd look at the pages, and then I'd call Neal. Because
then you wouldn't see them for a while after.
Because he was amazing.
Right.
And I always say this. This is my favorite story. I would always say, this character carries a Beretta 92F. God damn it! This guy from Metro Manila, in the middle of the Philippines, with no money, in the middle of nowhere, could draw that gun. And it
Well, he
wasn't
could
just
draw
like
anything. That's what made Ernesto
it was
interesting.
amazing.
Right.
This
his
guy,
referencing was actually better than our referencing.
Oh, his referencing was absolutely spectacular.
Right.
I mean, there is no one I've ever seen that can do what he did.
Right. So we had Ernesto penciling.
Yes.
And then who was inking?
For a certain number of issues, for the first 3 issues, there was a Filipino female artist, actually, named Saw Nan.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, she passed away.
Yes.
But she was very good. She also helped us out with some of the Sam Marie stuff we did. But it was very, very solid. The Filipinos have a nice, clean line.
Well, Neal likes a lot of Filipino inking in particular. Good brushwork in Neal's mind.
Yeah.
We had Rudy, who
Right.
came over from the Philippines, and Rudy did a number of continuity comics, and we love Rudy. You just did a piece on Alex Nino, who Alex Nino even did some work for continuity.
Right, he did. And I will say this, there was a guy from South America named Alberto Saichan.
Mm-hmm.
Alberto Saichan was spectacular on Ernesto Infante.
Right.
He was wonderful.
But Neal loved inking Ernesto because he could just relax and ink.
Yes.
And not really have to think, and it was like all there. Like he would think it's not all there, and then realize it was all there.
Right. And after I want to say the first 4 issues of Nighthawk, he suddenly started taking over and wanted to ink everything that Ernesto did. And for Ernesto, it took him probably 4 months to do a book because there was so much work in
One of my complaints about Ernesto is he never gave you the big payoff shot.
Right.
Because he was always drawing the story and the panels, and you never got the big solid image of the fight or something like that. And then we tried getting Ernesto to finally do that because it was very much American comics at the time.
Right, and that was the first image that we saw, of him, doing that, and that was him trying to do the
splash page.
That's him trying to do the Jim
trying
Lee,
to make Chris happy.
Trying to do the Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri kind of thing, and it's a great panel. Neal inked it very well. It's just he didn't do it very often. There's a Sam Marie book that he did that he did all this crazy stuff, and it was just so intense and so amazing. Like you just do how insane is this guy? And he really was terrific.
And all the Filipino artists were crooners like that.
Yes,
that's a big deal in the Philippines.
If you have to competitively karaoke with anybody, bring these guys along because they will beat anybody in the house.
Yeah, we had Rudy came in. We've been working with Rudy every day. He came in like clockwork. Came in every day except for the weekends. Went to the corner of the front room because that was his desk at the very end in the front room.
Right.
And he would just sit down and draw the whole day. Never really said much. Very quiet man. One day he comes in after working continuity for 5 years and he puts in a tape we have because Neal liked having music in the front room because that way people didn't talk too much and people would listen to the music and you just sit there and draw and there was always conversation. But all of a sudden Rudy comes in with a little tape and he sticks it in the front record player tape machine thing that we had. And all of a sudden it's like somebody singing Tiny Bubbles. And we were like, what are we listening? And then we all realized it was Rudy Nebres singing Tiny Bubbles, as good as the guy who sings Tiny Bubbles. And he's like, yeah, I used to sing in the Philippines. And we were like, what? He had like this entirely different secret life.
The
in the
Elvis Presley
Philippines.
of the Philippines, man.
Yep, exactly.
There's actually a whole, sub society in the Philippines
Yes.
about singing.
Yeah,
And singing is
very
very
big
important.
there.
Very
And they
important.
sing like American.
Yeah.
They get all the American
Yeah.
words and the way we say them down. So anyway, to finish off our Nighthawk, because I decided to drag Pete in and tell me about Nighthawk, because somehow I kind of miss Nighthawk. I think I had stepped out kind of in a way.
Or his mom would call him Kingfisher.
Yes, we have a mother. Our mother is the colorist of Nighthawk, most of the Nighthawks, if not all of them. And she would refer to him as the Kingfisher. And
Because he was colorful and it started with a K, so it was the Kingfisher.
So anytime Mom would come in and say, Pete, the Kingfisher, we were like, oh, Nighthawk, okay. So if you're interested in looking at Nighthawk, I almost called it the Kingfisher now. Nighthawk, it is in the Neal Adams vault, which we printed in black and white, except for one page, which was colored by Zia, actually, and Corey. And that's just because this was done in color digitally and was not done as art. But the whole Nighthawk first issue is actually in this book with Neal's first cover. And we sell this at cover price. I think we round out the cover price, actually. $40. Nope, it is $40. So we keep this at $40. If you're interested, if you haven't purchased one, it does have all the first issues, or not all the first issues. It has Armor, it has Revenger's Megalith, it has Hybrids by Larry Stroman, She-Bat by Neal Adams, and obviously Nighthawk. But it has all the first issues of those stories in black and white at a very large size. And it is a $40 book that we actually put together of Continuities Comics. So if anybody is interested, we are offering this. If you are interested, the way of getting this would be to write in the comment bar, I'd like to claim the vault, which is this book, if you're interested. We would then recognize that you're writing, that you're claiming it in the comment bar, and then we will say, wait a minute, blah, blah, blah is buying a vault. And then we'll get your information through direct messaging, which would be your name, the address in which I am shipping to, as well as an email that I can send you out an invoice for whatever you purchase throughout the night during the show, if you do purchase. So we've covered that.
He is getting a special hello saying, Hola, Senor Pedro is in the house.
Pedro is definitely in the house today. I told you to bring him back. So anyway, so we decided to go out with Nighthawk today with Pete. And it was mostly because all of a sudden, like, I had the curiosity of, like, what the hell was Nighthawk about? Was he like a Batman? What was his story? Somehow, like, Nighthawk, like I said, I missed out on Nighthawk.
The nice thing about Nighthawk is, even in the first issue, he saves these poor kids who are orphans, and they're stuck in this horrible place, and he saves them. So that's really what Nighthawk is all about. It's not about the small stuff for Nighthawk. It's about the big stuff.
Well, a lot of Neal is big stuff.
Right. So,
Neal creates usually
Right.
not small stories, but very large stories.
Right, and that's actually what I was thinking about today when you asked me to do this, is that, Neal's story concepts generally tend to be very big.
They're epic.
Well, they kind of
They're
are.
big universes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're-
it's like, Okay.
It's
so-
never little. Like they're always like $10 billion movies. If you
Yeah,
did
it's
a
done.
movie budget of a Neal Adams film, it's kind of like up there with like Marvel's last, Avengers movie.
The end game.
Yes.
But it's never, Nighthawk goes down to the corner and stops someone from selling crack. It's not that.
Right.
It's something that's bigger and more important to the world.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
And Neil loves science. So
And
he would
loves
drag
science.
a lot of his science into it.
And the origin's just terrific.
Yeah.
I really love the origin.
Okay, so again, you can find the first issue of Nighthawk if you didn't buy it when it came out a zillion years ago. I'm not going to age myself tonight. It is in this Vault book. And the Vault can be bought from us at $40. You can also buy it in our online store, the NealAdamsStore.com. Also carries this book, or you can
Okay.
buy it here.
Tommy is claiming a vault book.
Smart man. All right, I'm just going to tag this one, but I will get a fresh one that I have not finger licked.
Yeah, Tommy, Nighthawk and Megalith are both in the
Right.
vault.
There's a lot of stories in the vault. There's Armor, there's Megalith, there's
hybrids.
right,
there's
She-Bat, and Nighthawk.
Right.
So there's there's one complete Neal Adams story. Because She-Bat is pencil ink complete Neal Adams story. Okay, so Tommy is going to pick up a vault. Okay.
Sorry.
I also will say that both Pete and Zia have been dying of allergies, so please forgive them when they go into their sneezing fits tonight.
Yesterday, even though I was able to edit, I was a zombie yesterday. Chris was just like, go home.
Yes, yesterday Zia needed to go home. Okay, so I'm going to start with some CGCs. And then I do have some new prints because we found a box that had come in, but then it came in during the move. And then I forgot about it. I opened it today and went, ooh, prisons.
And we're still rediscovering stuff from the move.
Right. So does anybody have any questions for Pete on Nighthawk? I mean, Pete's going to stay with it. You're stuck with me tonight.
I guess so.
If there's anybody that has any questions for Pete before I start hawking my wares here, in regards to anything of Continuity Comics, or I don't know if you're following Pete's Buried Treasures, or you're following, what does Dan call Dan, he does a lot of writing for 13th
Neal Adams
Dimension.
Chronicles.
Neal Adams Chronicles, which actually the Alex Nino one just came out.
Yep. And then a Bill Sienkiewicz one comes out, I think, 2 days from now.
Right, because you try and hit birthdays, right?
Yes.
And everybody's very happy to see Petey. Gustavo says, Ola, one and all, Mr. Pedro in the house. Happy Tower says, get 2 vaults, one that you can dog ear, one that you keep nice. And we missed you, Pete.
Well, check out the Alex Nino story, because that one's pretty cool.
You
And
like
then
that
had
one?
good visuals, right?
You like that one?
I haven't read it yet. But I know you'll write good things about Alex Nino, and I like Alex Nino.
Lance Free Wednesday says, a while back you guys had some X-Men 92 stuff. Did you have any more in celebration of the excellent X-Men 97? X-Men 90. Are you thinking us, or are you thinking the Krusty Bunker?
Oh, he's thinking about the art from the animation.
Oh,
Astonishing
the
X-Men?
Tostitos? Not
No,
Tostitos.
Astonishing
no.
X-Men.
Oh.
Well, no, it's
No?
it's the stuff we did for the animation series.
Oh,
We
you're
did
talking
some-
about the X-Men from the animation series. Okay. I know what you're looking for. No, we have not come across. We really just did that one solid piece, which was a presentation piece that we had done. It's not like we did a lot of that stuff in that time period. It was a commercial presentation piece of X-Men. So.
All right. Gustavo wants to know, Mr. Pedro, what is it like to be married to Continuity's head honcho, or is it Hanchi?
It's a bitch,
I will-
man.
yeah,
it's a real bitch.
I said we're gonna spare Pete from having to answer that. It ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. There are a lot of late night phone calls, a lot of a lot of grief. But
She
I
loves
will
me.
say, I
love
will
her.
say, everybody who's needs a Pete in their life, because Pete brings her coffee. He is so
Laundry.
nice
laundry.
that does the laundry.
He likes doing
And-
laundry.
I love doing laundry.
And I need a Pete.
Pete is the best. I cannot deny that he is not the best.
It's not for
Joy
nothing
Boy-
we all
Joy-
love Petey.
Joy Boy had his father, and he had the girl that couldn't obviously keep the door closed and take a shower.
Yeah.
And
Oh my golly gosh.
right, and he also had a Monty.
Right.
So I view myself as a Monty.
Everyone should have a Monty.
Everyone should have a Monty.
Pete and I actually, on usually Saturday mornings, or sometimes Sunday mornings, we bitch because nobody's bringing us both coffee.
Right.
Like, where's Monty to bring us our coffee? Like, what kind of life do we have?
Right.
One
Read-
without Monty, obviously.
Read Toy Boy 7 and then say, that's what I want.
That's
I
what I
want
want.
a Monty.
He comes
That
with a
will-
limo.
He comes with a limo.
And he cooks.
And he-
Petey cooks.
Petey is an excellent cook.
And I hear he makes amazing apple pie, but I couldn't say.
He also makes a mean cheeseburger. Okay.
It's an angry cheeseburger.
It's good. Actually, all of the we have a little cab ride from the train to our house if you're running late, and all the cab drivers know you make cheeseburgers because they all go, so going home for them cheeseburgers. What is it? Everybody in Hoboken knows you make a good cheeseburger.
I don't say it.
I know. I said going home for good cheeseburgers. I'm excited. Speaking of X-Men 97, can you believe they have not mentioned Neal in the credits? Really? No,
That's a shocker.
I can't imagine that.
That's a shocker.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Speaking of X-Men 97, can you believe they have not mentioned Neal in the credits? Credits of what?
X-Men 90s.
What
Well,
is
why are
X-Men
they-
97?
Are they doing like Sauron and Havoc and stuff? Or?
No, they're doing an animated series that's based on
Oh, I get it.
the old animation. So everyone wants to go back to that.
Right.
And unfortunately, the X-Men haven't been seen on screen for, what are we talking about, 15 years?
So you think Neal should get
now
credit for that? See, when P makes that face, and I go,
Well, then there.
Yeah, it's a
But
tough
then,
one.
but then
Yeah.
you think of the story that Dad told us about how they were going to cancel X-Men,
right.
Yes,
and Dad
They
So
did
it's-
cancel X-Men.
they did.
right, and Dad sort of brought it back.
Some
Yeah,
people
help-
but he
believe.
had,
Help
he had,
bring it back.
but okay. But now
Had a hand in it?
you two have to shut up because you don't know anything about the X-Men. The X-Men, when your dad did it, it was great. It was the old X-Men,
Right.
the original 5.
Right.
Okay, and then when Chris Claremont
Yeah, he threw in the extra
or
characters.
Len
and
Wein,
ditched a
depending
few.
on who you want to talk to, brought it back. It had different characters in it,
Right.
so then it became the new
New
X-Men.
X, right.
So
Yeah, but my understanding is
why
this
would-
animation isn't Neal's.
no,
X-Men.
it's not. It's the
Right.
new X-Men.
So why should Neal get credit?
Right.
So I would understand why Marvel wouldn't. I mean, it would be
my
nice. but
my theory is if you're going to bring back the X-Men, you should start with Neal's story, and then, in the second act, transition it into the new X-Men.
right.
And then,
At least go back to the professor.
right, Professor X and,
Right.
and do Cyclops and Marvel Girl,
Right.
the Beast and Angel, and make them, accessible, and then do the new X-Men.
Well, there's yes, there
Because
are
then
characters that
they
Neal
would
did.
get.
They said they did the Sentinels and
Well, the Sentinels is a different story, but that's Jack Kirby because Jack created the original, Master Sentinel, Master Mold Sentinel,
oh
and you should really start with Jack. If they're not thanking Jack, then that's a problem. But
we always get back to Jack in the end.
we always, and I fall in the knees of Jack Kirby.
Right, exactly. I think
He
Neal
is-
did too. So.
He is the God. He
Mhm.
gave us everything. So
Yep.
So anyway, I just think
So now I have to pay her salaries, so I have to sell some stuff here. But you can talk comics with us. Okay, so sorry guys, now I have to sell. Otherwise, I won't be back next week.
The only downside of PD being here is that we all want to talk comic books.
All right, here we go. I keep telling Pete he should do a podcast. Watch, they'll all be like, "Yeah, Pete, do a podcast."
I need a
Get rid of
Robin. I need a sidekick.
Well, it's not like we're not going to be here.
You need us. We complete each other.
That's right.
Okay. All right. I'll do a podcast.
Or do you need like another, and excuse me, the correct issue number is.
We do need one of those.
I kind of do need that. We can have four. We can have 4 people around.
Because I'm
All
sure
right.
we can find one.
Gustavo's starting wars here. John Byrne was doing Neal's X-Men designs. Of course he was.
Of course he was.
Okay, I'm selling Superman. Not even close to X-Men.
I know, right?
So this gem of a gem here popped up. And I'm very excited about it because it is Superman. And Superman just had an anniversary. What is he eating over there?
Nothing.
So this is actually a sketch cover, which means that what you're seeing of Superman here is an original drawing. Happy Tower says he'll be your audio tech.
Okay, I'll take that.
So this is a Superman #1 yellow label, 9.4, which you can go, well, that's not a great number. But for a Neal Adams drawing a cover, that is not a bad number. So Superman #1, this was done in 2018. It is a sketch cover, meaning that that is an original piece of art drawn on a white cover blank. And that is a nice Neal Adams Superman sitting there with a nice Neal Adams signature. It is a yellow label, which we no longer can get anymore. So whatever yellow labels are out there, that is the end of the yellow label. So this is a 9.4. It is a yellow label. It is already slabbed, ready to go home to somebody's house. And we have this at the price of $1,500 for this really nice Superman yellow slab, 9.4. So nice Superman. And why do we like Superman, Pete?
Because he's the
Didn't you like
greatest.
working on Superman? Did you guys ever talk? Because I know you like Superman.
Neal had a problem with Superman because he never knew what to do with Superman. Like he did that Superman versus Muhammad Ali, and he felt like that was the best. And then he didn't know what to do with him after that. So when
But he liked Superman as a character.
he did like Superman as a character, but then when he did the series, Superman, the Coming of the Superman,
Mm-hmm.
what he really wanted to do was the last panel. And the last panel, I'm serious.
It sounds like that.
The last panel was revealing that the Kryptonians were actually, or Superman himself was actually human, and that somewhere in the past that that humanity had somehow got down into the universe. And so that was the design for the blood cover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that Lex Luthor was desperate to get his blood
Right.
because he wanted to find out who he really was. And it turns out that Superman was really human.
Right. Interesting.
And that would have been an interesting series. But
nobody wanted to pick that up.
No one will pick that up because they hate Neal's writing.
Okay. I have a Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Now, this is the one that Neal painted. And what I found today was actually the pencil to that painted piece. And that's what this here. I'm gonna show you what the.
Oh, so that's an original pencil sketch?
No, not
Oh, okay.
original. They did two series. They did the color painting, which I'm gonna put up right now,
Okay.
and they did a pencil sketch cover. You can look at it. You can read the words. Okay. So there's the painting that we all know, and we've bought prints of and stuff like that. And then I noticed today that we had a 9.6 of what this is a printed pencil. It's not like Neal penciled that. It is a printed pencil, but I didn't realize that they did a pencil edition, which is usually smaller. I have a 9.6 on the pencil edition. I think this may be the only one I have. And we're selling that for $500 for Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 from 2016. Again, it is a yellow label, 9.6 of Neal's pencil of the Ninja Turtle Batman painting. So it's kind of cool, because even I was like, oh, there was a pencil. I thought he painted it.
He did.
He did paint it.
But you gotta draw it first.
Yep. Well, there is a drawing first. And what is the composition of this piece?
This is based on a Frazetta piece that most of us know, which is the caveman running forward.
That did not click with me until you just said it. I was like, oh! As soon as you said it for a Zeta piece, I was like, oh, wait a second, I know which one.
Exactly.
Right. No, because he asked me.
That Neal Adams guy.
He asked me to find that painting, and he said, I'm gonna do the Ninja Turtles this way, and I was like, okay.
And then he came in with a painting. It was like,
Yeah.
Dad painted the Ninja Turtle painted cover? What?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the pencil sketch edition. Again, it is a printed pencil, not a drawing. And then I also have the 9.8 of the same cover, except it is the painted cover. Both are yellow labels. Again, I'm going to say it again, that yellow labels are done. Whatever is out there, and that's all that will be out there. Unless you know somebody really nice in it.
Oh,
That's right.
nothing, I just clicked the wrong thing.
And Happy Tire said that's a nice piece of trivia.
That's why I'm here.
Pete has all the trivia.
So I heard you had a stop clicking moment.
And you yelled at yourself to stop clicking.
Yeah, I did.
Somehow the subject came up yesterday. Chris started telling me about it.
Okay, next up is we have another pencil. This again is a not drawn pencil, but a printed pencil for the Batman 50. For any of you who like this cover, I have a 9.6.
Okay, Lance is claiming the 9.8 TMNT painted version.
Okay.
It's, well, it's Lance related, but it's Lance Free Wednesday on Instagram.
Right. Okay, got it, Lance. Thank you. We have Batman 50. Now, this is the pencil of the cover where Neal fell in love with the wedding dress that was designed for this series. I'm selling it for $400. It is a yellow label, 9.6. And again, the pencils are very rare. This was probably, once again, the only one I have in the house right now. And you can see that Neal actually penciled out that very finely laced dress.
Dad loved the dress.
Dad loved this dress, right? He pulled out all of his fashion
Knowledge.
and did a beautiful dress. So it's a nice Batman.
And then Batman screwed it up.
Yep, exactly. Okay, 9.6, $400 for that one. And again, like I said, these are the rarer to get penciled ones.
Happy Tower says he loves the mileage that your noise button gets.
Zia doesn't.
Happy Towers provided the noise button
That is true.
because Chris lost her maracas.
No, my sad maracas broke.
Oh,
That's what happened. Remember, like the handle started bending on it. Okay, for my last, I thought this would be fun to show because I'm always torturing you guys with the original cover. But I have an original black and white printed Shadow Volume 3, number 1. In 2017, it is a 9.6 of the Shadow cover that you guys have seen Neal's prelim or layout for the cover, as well as the finished published cover we've had up for sale. And now I have the actual comic in its black and white form, 9.6 yellow label for $250. Again, yellow label means that the CGC people were there while Neal signed it. So it is a certified, definite, witnessed Neal Adams signature.
and of course, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men.
Oh no, you have to do it right. Tommy Braden is.
Whoa!
There you go.
So mad.
There you
Shadow
go.
knows.
Neal Adams knows.
All right, Tommy Braden is claiming the Batman 50.
Okay.
He's also claiming the pencil TMNT, the Shadow, and he's asking if we have another color TMNT.
I
Sure
probably do. Yeah, if you feel like it. I mean, I can pull it after this. Okay, so he wants the pencil one. So I got that right here. He would like a color one. What was his third thing he wanted?
There's the Batman 50 pencil and the Shadow. So
Oh,
your other two
Batman
books that
50.
you showed.
Right. Okay, got it.
He's grabbing everything.
Tommy. Okay. Thank you, Tommy.
All right, so that one was
400.
400. All right.
All right. Pete is looking.
All right,
to
the
see if-
painted cover one was 500, right?
Yeah, the 9.8. Did you find the Ninja Turtle shell? Pete?
Yep.
Did you find the Ninja Turtle shell?
Not yet.
Oh, there. It's a whole big shell. Don't worry, I'll find it later.
Andrew is going, wait, the buzzer is your fault? Yes. The buzzer is Happy Tower's fault. Yes.
And
Yes,
I love
it is.
Happy Towers
And
for
Happy
it.
Towers is very lucky that I love him so much.
Thank you. He wanted 9.8.
Yeah.
9.8, baby. Okay, Shadow, Volume 3, number 1 for $250. It is a 9.6. Again, it is a more limited.
He's taking that one.
Oh, he's taking this one. Okay. Sorry, didn't get that message.
No, he's taking everything that was
Okay, got it.
already claimed,
I'll shut up now.
including the Batman. You
Yeah.
got the Batman.
I got the Batman.
Right, and the Batman was how much? 400. Okay.
500 for the
Oh,
pencil.
500. Okay.
500 for the pencil. Okay. The shadow one is 250.
Yep.
And you got the painted one, right?
Oh, once we pull
The
one.
9.8, I got it. Oh shit. But I'm not thinking tonight. Thanks,
the second,
Pete.
guys.
What?
All right, and the painted cover was 400.
I think so.
Yeah,
With
Yes.
whatever Lance's was.
that was
Lance-
500. Okay.
500, right. Okay. I have one more CGC for the night, and then I'm moving on. All right. This is $250 for 9.8 yellow label Black Panther.
Wait, how much was this one?
This one
250. Oh, okay.
is $250.
Oh.
All right, Black Panther number 1, 9.8. 250. This was one of Neal's favorite covers because he did this whole thing with the big panther statue, and they did it in the movie, and he was like, I didn't know they were going to do that.
Dad lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw that. He's like,
Exactly.
I didn't even know they were going to have it in the movie.
Right? I read their minds psychically.
And about the buzzer, my great nephew discovered that he can chase me away using that buzzer. And he loves to torment me with it. I can make the crazy redhead go away.
I don't ring it all the time. Oops. Okay. Black Panthers can go on the shelf because nobody bought Black Panther. Okay.
That is correct.
All right. I'm
He's
gonna.
Blick.
Happy Towers is having quite a laugh at home.
Okay. Next up. Here we go. El Printos. Now this was like a nice find today. I never even knew we did this as a brand. 13 by 19.
With the Adams mouse.
So the Adams mouse. It's not Atomic Mouse, it's Adams mouse.
That's
And
right.
I'm taking it over, and Charlton's going to have to find me.
That's right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Exactly. Neal drew it first.
The A is for Adams.
And,
It all comes down to who loves it more.
right.
That's right.
And we love it more. So there you go. So these are, I probably have maybe 5 of these. They are 13 by 19. They are signed by Neal. Like I said, this was a find today.
And we are charging how much for this?
100, our normal 100. Hunter wrote Atomic Adams Mouse. Yes. AA. So this is a famous piece that a lot of people do like because it does have Atomic Mouse.
Dad also drew him cuter.
Dad did draw him cuter. Yes. I will say his Thor is pretty cute on this too.
Okay, Tommy Braden is claiming a DC versus Marvel print.
Okay. Thank you, Tommy. Who did the color? Oof, that's a hard one.
My money's on Dad, mainly because if you look at the muscles on Thor, Dad's got a vein popping out, which I don't think Mom would have done that. Dad definitely.
No, I don't think Mom was doing stuff at this point.
So my money's on Dad.
Mom had stepped away to
Yeah.
raise children at a certain point, and then she came back. But I would say this is Dad. If it's not Dad, it was heavily directed.
Jim Hackett is saying Richard Corbin.
Oh, it could be
No.
Richard. It could.
Really?
No. Could be.
Richard loves his reds.
Yeah.
And then look at that sky.
Trouble is the skin. I agree with Zia. The skin on Thor's arm is very much more.
I mean, unless Dad went in on it or
which
told
that's
him
what I'm
to.
saying. It could be
Yeah.
somebody else colored it.
Jim Hackett says front and back covers.
Yeah, okay. Do not question Jim Hackett. He's always right.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna write the name down for next time too.
I would say if Richard Corkin
Richard
did this,
Corkin.
which I'm sure he probably did, as usual, Neal will go in and take care of the things that he wants. So I have a feeling
He's got little things like this and this, and maybe over here.
yeah, the skin tones for sure.
Skin tones are a little odd for Neil, and even Thor's face. And what's going on with the thing? I'm just saying.
in color.
Yeah, in color.
Oh, you
No,
mean the magenta shadow?
No, I mean
over his eyes.
maybe.
All right, so this is now that we've all ripped it apart.
Yeah, really.
It is
totally
$100
ripped it
to buy.
apart.
I'm sorry, I
Well,
found it.
I
I was excited to find this today.
I love this piece.
I do.
No,
too.
it's a great piece.
So I'm just gonna send one to Tommy, and nobody else gets it. That's it. End of conversation. All right. Next, if there is a next,
You get nothing.
I only have one of these, and I don't know why I have one of these, and it has like I don't even understand, but okay. It's 11 by 14. It is the piece we did that the Warner Brothers store had problems with, and it never got used. But I have one of these. We didn't. These are. This is not made by continuity either. This is different. This is 11 by 14. And like I said, it is the Warner Brothers store piece that the Warner Brothers store did not want to do. So it never got used as the Warner Brothers.
Because it's controversial.
Yes. But we know what the controversy is because we're all grown-ups. And we understand how the world works sometimes. So this is 11 by 14. Obviously is based on a Green Lantern Green Arrow story from the Hard Traveling Heroes. And
Kelly Rusk is claiming the Green Lantern print.
thank you, Kelly Rusk.
What am I calling this?
Warner Brothers Green Lantern.
It's a great piece.
It is a great piece.
It's really
And it is signed by Neal, too. So that's kind of nice.
and that scene is the best part of that whole issue.
Okay. Next up is I found some more of these. So this is the Superman print that comes with, let me just see a second, the Superman stamp, which Neal's stamp is the famous Breaking Chains stamp. The print is signed by Neal, the stamps are signed by Neal, and I'm selling this for $300. So it is a print that DC did that went along with the stamps that DC did with the post office. I believe these are, is this the Canadian set?
Sorry, Tommy. The Green Lantern print got claimed.
Yeah,
we
this
only
is-
have the one.
This is a Canadian set. So they're Canadian stamps, but the middle stamp is the famous Breaking Chain, which looks like the print down below, and other people's Supermans. Again, the stamps are loose. That blue hunk of paper is a loose element, and that is signed by Neal, and the print is signed by Neal. So 2 Neal Adams signatures. We're selling this for $300. Superman. Really nice collection of stuff in this one nice package here. And Neil liked when they did stamps and his stuff. Like he would act like it wasn't anything like a little stupid as stamps, but he really did kind of like it.
How can you not
I
like
know when
it?
I framed his Green Lantern one, he was like happy. So this one is Superman.
How can you not like it?
Exactly. All right, we're gonna move on. Okay, these are the ones I sold. I guess we'll go this way. All right. Here we go. Okay, I have the Batman, what we refer to as Gothos. This is 1114, which is the size that Neil does do original covers at.
How much is this one?
This one is 100, and it is signed by Neil at the bottom.
And Happy Towers is saying, "Go, Donna Summers! The cake got left out in the rain."
I have one of these left, I believe, signed by Neil. The Demon of Gothos Mansion. Dun, dun, dun. Which originally was who did the original one? Buck Kane, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure so.
Pretty sure.
Wait a minute, I know something Pete doesn't know.
No.
I'm a Marvel boy.
All right.
Oh.
13 by 19. Who's on this one?
Bruce Lee.
There you go. Bruce Lee. This was part of the Kung Fu magazine at Marvel Boy. At Marvel. This is $100 to buy. It is signed by Neil. And
One of his favorite covers.
I have 4 of these.
He loved that cover.
Right. No, he did. I know he did.
Why?
I don't know why, actually.
I wrote about this.
I didn't read it.
Because of the hand.
Because of the hand?
Look at the hand.
Oh, the hand that's coming out at you. That's a
He
good
said
hand.
he said that was the best hand he'd ever drawn.
But
I would
the one
believe
that's
it. It's
in
a
white
good- it's
like
a-
that?
No.
Or is it?
This one.
Oh, the under.
That's
yeah.
a good hand. Here, look at it there.
Yeah, reference.
Well, I mean, he had reference for all of
He
that.
had reference for everything.
But that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Hard to draw a hand.
Yes.
All
It was
right.
very hard.
Tidbit. Everybody write that down. Neil's favorite hand he ever did. Bruce Lee painting on the Kung Fu magazine.
He walked down the hall. Every time I walked down the hall with him, he would always say, "Pete, look at that hand. That's a great hand." I said, "Yeah, Neil, I know. I know you really like. You really love
Okay,
that hand."
Tommy Braden is claiming a Bruce Lee print.
Okay, Tommy.
And then we would have to talk about Bruce Lee for half an hour.
Well, but who doesn't want to talk about Bruce Lee for
I
half
would
an
talk about
hour?
Bruce Lee for hours.
Great.
Jackie Chan.
Nope.
No, Bruce
No,
Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Jackie Chan is also great, but
I told Courtney when we were watching Enter the Dragon, and I said, "Oh, he's got the nunchucks now." And she said, "What?" She said, "What do you mean nunchucks?" I said, "Watch." And he got the nunchucks.
she was like, holy shit.
She's like, "Oh, now I get it."
Okay, next one up this is 13 by 19. In the reference, Bruce Lee was wearing a sweatshirt. That's
Yep.
interesting.
You actually came across that reference recently.
Yeah,
Image.
Yeah, look at that hand.
yeah that's a
Looking at
dynamite
That's
hand.
amazing.
I'm never going to look at that piece of scene.
No, you can't. You can't look at it.
All right. Now this, I think Neil referenced Superman versus Muhammad Ali on this one, right?
That's right.
This is the Harley Quinn Superman spoof that they did with Harley Quinn in issue number 5 of the Little Black Book,
Right.
where they asked us whether we would be interested in drawing a spoof of the Superman versus Muhammad Ali. And we said, as long as we don't have to do the covering.
No. There's a better story about that.
Well, that's what I said.
Neil said immediately, he said, I'll be fine with doing that. I'd love to do that. And then at the end, when they asked about the cover, they said, would you be willing to do the original cover again? And Neil said, sure, for $6 million. He was never doing that cover again. He had done it once with Superman Muhammad Ali. He had done it again with the ESPN cover, and he was not about to do it again.
Well, even the first time he did it, he probably drew, if you put it all together, like 5 covers worth of drawings.
Oh, absolutely.
It was the first time around because of all the
changes. It was a nightmare.
Okay, so we have Harley Quinn versus Superman, $100, 13 by 19, and it is signed by Neil.
And here's the dumb thing. I've seen this a million times.
Yeah.
I only just now noticed that she's got a hammer and that it is a kryptonite hammer.
How else is she going to beat him?
Well, how else was Muhammad Ali going to beat him? He didn't have kryptonite, nothing.
They had
the red sun.
Right, but I figured they had a red sun too. But it's just, I've been like so looking at the rest of the artwork that piece of information just did not sink into my brain.
When he did that cover.
And it has the Obamas on it.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Definitely
When he did that cover for, what was it, Batman, I'm going to get this number wrong. I think it's 244, where Batman's lying on the ground and he's got his shirt off and he's got the hairy chest.
Yeah.
You know? And they asked him to do it again, but it's Superman lying on the ground and Batman standing over him. And he's got the sword in the ground.
Right.
Even though you kind of think it's in his chest, but it's really not. And Neil said to me, because we talked about it, and he said, what should I do with this sword? And I said, you should make it kryptonite. He was like, oh, that's a really good idea. And so when he asked for the color, he said,
make it
green.
Okay, so I don't feel so dumb.
No, everybody's saying.
Happy Powers and Mike Rock are both going, oh, I didn't realize that.
Okay, so this is $100 to buy, and everybody now knows
okay,
it's a
and Tommy Braden is claiming the Harley boxing Superman.
Okay, Tommy. Okay. All right. Next up is Storm. Speaking of X-Men Neal Adams era.
It's not Neal Adams era.
I know.
She's still a hottie.
She is still a hottie, though. So we have Storm, 13 by 19. I was teasing. I know it's not Neal Adams era Storm, but it is Storm. Neil enjoyed drawing this, and it is signed.
I'm sure he did.
Signed by Neil at the bottom, I think, in silver.
Yes.
Yeah. 13 by 19 Storm. Storm the way Neil envisions her.
It's not a bad envisionment.
So nice Storm here.
All right, Tommy Braden is claiming Storm.
Okay, Tommy.
Yeah, Pete, you get used to this part. It's like anything that Tommy doesn't already have, he claims.
Fine.
And then that makes everybody else that watches sweat. That's why we call him Tommy Gun.
Tommy Gun, right, exactly.
From Rocky?
Okay. I got Tommy now because he like cheats.
Oh.
He rapid fires. I want that one, that one, that one. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew pew pew.
Okay, I did find 2 more of this one, which this is the Batman Odyssey pencil cover. So I know some people were interested in this. I only had 1 at the time. I found 3 more in all. So if you're interested in this, I would grab it up.
Okay, Happy Towers, you'll claim what? The Batman?
Yeah. It's pencil.
All right, then he said, damn it. Which are you claiming, Happy Towers?
I think
Happy?
he's doing the Batman. Because it's a pencil.
Batman.
It's
Okay,
it's a
thank
good
you.
pencil which follows everything he does.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Okay, so we have Happy Towers.
Okay, and Tommy, you really don't have to test every time. There's a delay on Instagram. I do see you when you come up. Tommy is claiming the other Batman print. Because you said you had 2.
Oh, the other of the same one. Okay,
Yes.
got it. Okay, gotcha, Tommy. Okay, so Tommy. That was for Felix.
Well, he says Chris knows I love my pencils.
And Chris knows that she loves his button.
Oops.
Right. Okay. All right. Everybody's going to be fast on the trigger because I only have 1 of these. All right. Iron Man. 13 by 19, signed by Neal at the bottom.
He says my crown is in jeopardy.
So Iron Man 13 by 19, signed by Neal 100.
I'm watching the feed very carefully. Claim Iron Man, Tommy Braden.
Okay. Good, because I only have 1 of these. That's signed by Neal at least. It's a cool Iron Man.
Happy Towers goes, Tommy can have that. I have it. And I know you said it exactly like that.
Okay, next up is one of my favorite covers that nobody pays any attention to. This is a Chris Adams fave. I love this cover. And you know what? I'll show it 100 times, and then someone 5 years from now will wake up and go, "Oh, that's a good cover." Kind of like the Galactus cover that went around for years, nobody picked it up. So 13 by 19. Now this is from our first X-Men series. That was a 5-parter. Right?
Yes.
So it's Wolverine before the adamantium, so he's got bone claws.
That's the only bad thing. And that slowly ripped a hole in my heart because I really wanted to do Wolverine, and then they threw the bone claws at us, and I was like,
Do you hear a rapid thumping noise?
yeah, it's up on the roof.
Okay.
It might be the thing filling the water tower. There's like a pump that goes off to fill the water tower. That might have been
Okay.
it. Okay.
All right, Tommy Braden is claiming the bone claw Wolverine.
Okay, this one I do have a couple. I have 2, so I only have 1 more of this one. Wolverine Bone Claw in the rain. Now look at that bouncing rain off of that guy's shoulders. Bony Neal Adams in the rain.
What's the matter, Sam?
That is my heart, Zia.
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what his problem is. What's your problem, Sam? Are we not paying
I
attention?
don't know.
Okay, I still have one more of the Wolverine ones. I can show it because I'm telling you, the rain on this is amazing. The bounce off of Wolverine's hair, shoulders, the little poodles on the ground, the
Poodles?
circular poodles of rain.
Saving a kid.
Right. But it just his rain on this is like, wow, Dad, you did some good rain.
Oh, he said the distant pounding. All right, Happy Towers is claiming a Wolverine.
Okay. Happy Towers. Thank you. Tommy, thank you.
Well, you know, it's not like Dad hadn't done a lot of rain in his time.
Yeah, but this is really
Batman's
good rain.
always in the rain.
But this is like really good rain. This isn't like, and this is all Neal Adams rain.
That's true. It's not me
No,
doing photoshopping. Right?
no, that's Dad rain. That's Dad rain. Okay, I have 3 Jokers laughing. Now, this is based off of the pieces that Neil drew that we've sold through the show. This is on that really nice clay paper. I have one of these. Recently, we just sold one, so I figured I would pull another one out. These are 3 Jokers, and it is $100, signed by Neil. What does Sam just wake up? Sam woke up from a nap.
Tommy, I think you did claim the 3 Jokers once before. Didn't you?
I will.
I'm
question.
85% sure.
I will do Tommy question mark, and then if he hasn't, I will put it in. Okay.
All right, Tommy, Chris is going to check for you.
Okay. Let's see. What am I feeling? I have Star Wars painting. Again, I'm telling you guys, this has never been seen, never been printed, never printed it anywhere. I have shown it now at least 3 times during the shows. So it may have crawled into somebody's feed out there in the Neal Adams Appreciation Land of Life. This is $100 to buy. And it is Star Wars. This is a painted piece that Neil did that unfortunately never got published. And it was because Marvel and Star Wars were having some issues with one another. And we kind of got caught in the crack of that. So this is Star Wars, $100.
Yeah, Tommy, if you open the box and you see it in there before Chris has a chance to check, just send us a DM.
Yeah. I just go through my scrolls with them. Ban Sam Page.
I was going to say, what were you playing Roblox and went, oh, gee, I haven't gone online and snarked at Instagram in a while.
All right, I think I'm going to go on to some artwork. I'm going to do some art because we did a lot of prints already. All right? So we'll move over to some artwork.
Whatever your little heart desires there, kiddo.
We'll do some Okay. I have really nice running Batman in smoke with a giant star on it.
Gotcha.
It is 8.5 by 11. It is 2,800. Oops. Here. 2,800. Batman running. Lots of smoke. Now, if somebody were to buy this lovely piece of art, This is a piece that, once again, you could have a giant Zia explosion in the background. Zia's not agreeing, but she's just not thinking. You could do a big explosion with all the smoke and stuff. That looks like an explosion behind him.
Yeah, could be.
Exactly.
I'd have to do a color later.
So I would definitely buy this. I would ask Zia to make a copy, and then I would hire Zia to color this, and you will have a bang, bang, bang cool piece, and everyone will be jealous of.
Actually, yeah, especially because if we do it on a color copy, then I can take some of the line art of the background and make the lines a color.
Thinking like Lincoln. So 2,800 is not it's actually a really
So now
good
rather
price
than
for this piece.
running in rain in a puddle,
Right.
he's running in smoke in a puddle.
Exactly. We're making gasoline. Gasoline.
But you better run fast.
So everybody think about that one. Good thinking, Caps. Really nice Batman. This will have worth later down the line. This isn't gonna like, oh, I can't sell it. Like I said, if you have a dynamic color with this piece, I would be seriously very jealous of anybody who takes me up on that offer, because that is a really good offer. So that's all I'm going to say about this piece, because now I want it, and I now know Zia wants to color it too. I have now tortured Zia. Now she's going to look at this and be like,
I don't want to go through the agonizing process of actually figuring out how to color it, but when it's done, I'll be really happy.
That one's going to be, can't say the word. Bad word, Chris. Okay, next one, 8.5 by 11 Batman. Nice Batman head. Every living room should have a Batman head in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that's what all the villains think, anyway.
Right. Phil just says he has a similar one. Neal did a lot of running Batmans through
He
water.
loved that figure.
Well, everybody loves that figure. I don't think Neal loves that figure.
Tommy, no, the color was not included in the price. The color would be additional to the
Right. Color would be
2,800.
additional on top of that. And Zia won't be cheap on that one. I can tell.
Yeah, because that one's, I'm going to have to turn my brain on for that one.
As if Zia does not turn her brain on for like little headshots.
That is
nice
true.
try, Zia.
But I turn my brain up to 11 on some things.
It takes a lot to turn her brain up.
My brain's like a diesel engine. It takes a little while for it to warm up.
I just sit
and then it just sort of chugs.
I sit and poke her down.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Shut up and do it.
And that's all I say all day long.
I know.
8.5
That is
11.
I know.
1,400 pen and ink Batman head.
See, just shut up and do it.
Just shut up and do it. Just do it. Are you doing it?
See, Dad and Chris had two different ways of motivating me. Chris would just say, just do it. Before I beat you, will you just do it? Whereas Dad would do the reverse psychology. Dad would do the, well, you work on it. If it doesn't work, I'll fix it. And I'll be, oh, wait, no. I can do it. Or, if you think you can't handle it, I'll take it.
That's what Dad would use on you all the time.
Oh.
It didn't work on me because I'd be like, fine, here you go.
If you can't handle it, I'll do it. No! Ever told me there's something I can't do? Surefire way to get me to do something is tell me I can't.
Okay.
But you can't.
We have a large 1117, another beautiful piece. And actually, somebody's very interested in this piece. Hopefully it will be going to
Yeah, I
a
haven't-
home.
Yeah, they got my number all right.
1117. This is Joker Harley. It has a claim price of 5,000. Pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Zia. And there's a really nice explosion, except I want more reds in the one with the smoke.
Well, it'd have to get more reds because the smoke is going to have to go to like a dark gray to get the smoke and be like really.
But I wanted
It's
it like reds and
more of a dark
browns.
gray.
I want reds and browns. I like
Yeah.
ambery.
I don't think I can do that.
Oh, I can do it all right.
No, I don't think that's really realistic or.
1117 Joker Harley. Pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Zia. Really gorgeous piece.
Yes, the blue on the face is marker. Yes.
It is the amazing talent of Zia. And the nice thing about this was, this is actually Zia, not rushed. Like, you actually had time to sit and do this because we finally pulled this out from the bottom of the pile
Yeah.
after Dad had passed. This thing sat up here for probably 2.5 years, I bet,
Yeah.
before we finally
Well,
got
it
the
was-
color up.
It was pre-COVID.
Yeah. So like I said, beautiful Joker, great Joker head by Neal and Zia on this. Not a bad price at 5,000. Again, very large piece. All right, rabbit. Where are we going? I'm gonna go here. This is Batman yellow, yellow,
Yellow.
and an ink.
Hi, Glenn. Nice to see you come visit.
1114. Phil, yes, that is a Black Panther slab behind me. The price on it is $250, and it is a 9.8 yellow label from 2016, and it was the amazing brainchild that Neal could match what was in the movie without seeing the movie. That's what makes Neal so great. So, yes. I will show it in a minute. So right now, Zia is pulling up Batman.
Botsman.
It is a signed piece. This is a gorgeous piece of art. 1114 Yelling Batman, done with lots of pencil and inks, obviously. Well, there's not a lot of ink on this. This is actually more pencil in some ways. But it's an interesting balance of using pencil against inks. And the price on this is $3,000.
Master color class. Maybe.
Maybe she'll do a master color class if you do the Batman. we will tape you.
And hello, M. Gage. Batman never got a full mustache. Well, not as Batman, no. But as, was it Matches Malone, he did.
Yes.
Matches
It
Malone.
was a fake mustache, though.
Okay, I'm gonna put Batman over here.
And in the Ra's al Ghul series, it was Robin.
Okay, to answer Phil, here is a 9.8 yellow label. Victor Savino.
Hey, Victor.
She says, hello, Pete.
Hello.
Bruce Wayne did a couple of Time Undercover. That hombre gets a stash. Got a stash. Okay, so we're looking, I'm sorry, Black Panther, 250 for 9.8 yellow label. So I'm gonna put this back, and it's this was a variant cover from Newberry Comics that was out. And Neal really loved this cover, more so because he did it before he saw the movie, and then was shocked that the statue was in the movie, and was very proud of himself that he mind read the movie. Oh, nothing's out there. Okay, next up. I have this really gorgeous Superman still. Soup's black and white splat. And it is 3,000. This is actually one of my favorite flying poses of Superman that Neal has done. And I love, like, Superman generally doesn't have good cape, but Neal did like really nice caping. Because usually caping goes to Batman, not Superman. And this actually got some nice cape work for a Superman. So this is pen and ink Neal. Background splat is Jason. But is that fist as good as the Bruce Lee hand? No. According to Neal Adams, best hand he ever did was Bruce Lee's hand.
That's right.
We heard that from Pete today. That has the little tidbit gems.
I couldn't walk down the hallway without him telling me about that. It was exhausting.
Yep.
Pete, look at that hand.
It has to be an homage to Miller's Secret Years #1 cover. I don't know. So 3,000 for this really nice image of Superman. Because Superman is tough. He's either got to stand kind of stoic, and you get some keeping. He's either breaking chains, flying.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes the cross one that Neal did.
Yeah.
In Superman Ali. But there's not a lot of like identifiable posings.
This one. He flies like this.
With your wonderful booze.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pete had some blood work done.
Yeah, really. No kidding.
And was stabbed by a horrible stabber. Okay, this one is Spider-Man. This is one of our headshots, as we call it. And it is colored by Z. Pen and ink is Neal. It is a sign piece by Neal. Spider-Man. It has a fun kind of Manhattan City gray granite feel in the background with the punchy Spider-Man outfit. Obviously in the foreground. This is pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Z. And it is a sign piece for $750 off this one?
$750, yes.
Yeah, $750. Nice Spider-Man.
Okay, all right.
So if you guys have any questions for Pete, Pete is here. I don't know if I'll ever get him to come back, but this may be your last chance to get any secret information you want on Neal. You know what, Z, we still have to put that stupid balloon in there. One of these days, Z will catch up to it. All right, I'm going to put nice Hulk cover up. Now, this is a published cover of the Hulk. Price on this is $18,000. obviously this is based on Superman breaking jeans.
Obviously.
I feel like towards the end of like Neal's work for load, whatever you want to call it, from front to end, it seemed like at the very end, all we were doing was homaging Neal. It was like we had run out, and it wasn't that Neal ran out. It's just everybody wanted him to redo the covers again.
Right.
But I, like when I sit and do this show, it like really hits home of how much we were homaging Neal with Neal.
Yeah.
And then people thought like we were homaging Neal with Neal. And it was like, no, this is what we
It
were
was never.
asked.
It was never. It's like the concept that people always said. Neal only hired people at continuity that could draw like him. No, it wasn't that. It was that people who could draw like him or had learned to draw from him would come and, they just want to be part of it.
Mm.
And so, there was a lot of people that.
Well, he also had, one of the bigger problems we actually had with Continuity's comics was that we had non-masked heroes.
Yes.
Like when you think about it, we have a line of non-masked heroes where most people have hoods, most people have masks.
Right.
So like you're having to deal with hair with our characters, you're having to deal with faces with our characters.
Yes.
So we threw a lot of problems.
You couldn't hide anything.
Right. We threw a lot of problems out there so that you had to be a upper echelon artist to actually do continuities work.
Sure.
And
But
what
we
was
never-
this cover on?
Incredible Hulk, number 1, variant
Yeah, it was a variant.
cover. 18,000, pencil and ink, published piece.
And Happy Towers wants to know, how long have you been writing, Pete?
Since I was
2 years old.
like 16. I wasn't good at 16, but I imitated my heroes, Robert E. Howard and Raymond Chandler, and even I even wrote a story that was terrible. That was an imitation of Hearts of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. It was just awful, but that's what I did, and I learned just like artists learn. You find those artists that connect to you, and you start drawing like them, and then eventually you
yourself.
Yeah, you find yourself just like Bill Sienkiewicz did. He started drawing just like Neal, and then pretty quickly he changed his style and found Bob Peak, and he found other people.
Well, there was a period of time, once again, where Neal takes a hit on this a little bit, in that DC and Marvel were only hiring
Right.
clones of Neal.
Right.
So in order to get work in comics, you had to live in New York City at that point.
Right.
And you had to kind of draw like Neal because he was the best selling dude out there.
Well,
So if you're a publisher, you want 10 Neals, whether you can get them or not.
right, you had DC that was definitely hiring just Neal. Then you had Marvel that was hiring just Jack Kirby or John Buscema.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to have your own style.
Right. So when young guys came in, they were like, you need to draw like Neal.
Right.
So in order to get work, you had to draw like Neal. If you came in with some weird esoteric style, they weren't going to hire you.
Right.
There's only so many slots for these guys. Okay, so we're back to Superman Clark Kent ripping off his clothes, revealing Superman. And the price on this is $2,600. It is a signed piece by Neal. This is a pen and ink. That is the Superman character is pen and ink Neal. And what you're seeing in that background is actually Zia color. And then obviously Zia did the Superman figure as well. But I would say Zia brings a lot to the table on this piece.
They want to know what's on your shirt.
Oh, Rocco. Rocco's Modern Life.
Pete.
Forget the art that we're showing. What's on Pete's shirt?
Rocco's Modern Life.
Pete has a very interesting collection of shirts.
And Lance is saying that for a long time, him and Steranko were the only new things under the sun.
Yep,
They were.
exactly.
And Chris thought Steranko was from Europe.
I did. Steranko, like comic books were kept in the comic books were all over our house, but there was always comic books in the bathroom. So like you're in the bathroom, you're gonna pick up what's on the floor of the bathroom, and Steranko was definitely on the floor of our bathroom for a while actually. And I just remember looking at it, and it was like colorful people, but it was like an interesting composition, and the whole background was white. And in my mind, even at a really young age, I was like, oh, this guy's from Europe, because it looked like the way European comics look. It didn't look like American DC Marvel comics, but yet it was. So,
Right.
so Jim, I thought, was European till I met him.
And Kelly Russ says, actually, I think he's ripping off the suit because there's a spot on his left pant leg. There's a spot on his left pant leg because he had lunch with Dad.
If you look closely at the Nighthawk that we posted for tonight's show, you will also notice Z goes, I handed her, I said, Z, can you scan this so I can put it up for the show? And she goes, so what do you think it is, soy sauce or ketchup? And I'm like,
No, soy sauce or coffee.
or coffee, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go for soy sauce. It's right in the
It
middle
looks like soy sauce
of
to me.
Nighthawk's face. The bottom jaw has.
I'm thinking he had some lo mein that night.
See, I was thinking he had dumplings.
Well, yeah, it could be dumplings. But Dad was more likely to go for lo mein than dumplings.
That is true. It is not a true Neal Adams if you cannot find a stain.
That's right.
Is the role. And Happy Cow says Nick Fury's Shield by Steranko is my intro to his work. Yeah, I don't know what was my intro to his work, but I know it was very white. It was the first time I ever saw
Had to be
a white cover.
Had to be Shield.
And it did this, like the characters had a composition that was like way different than Neal Adams or anything that I had seen in DC and Marvel laying in the bathroom on the floor. Or one of my jobs was Dad had these like little bookcases that we got at like the A&P or something, and I would have to stack all the comics with the right logos together. That was like one of my
God.
my first job was the Polaroids. Later on, I grew to stack the comics in the right places and organize my comics press.
And then it would make a silky slide out of those
Right.
comics.
So I saw a lot of covers because I was always matching logos
Sure.
and looking for Sugar and Spice comics because that was the only thing good that ever came to the house. So, Steranko was like, who is this guy? He must be from Europe.
I just love that taken out of context. The Steranko was on the bathroom floor.
Okay, we're going to remove Superman. We're probably going to actually close down. We're going to get here soon. So, you want to do the I Batman? We'll do I Batman and we'll do Deadman. Okay, so we have what we refer to as I Batman because he's giving you the eye, which I know some of you actually hate. And I will make a capital on that word, hate.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Batman's going to give you the side eye, how do you know if you don't see his eye?
That Neal Adams puts eyes in his Batman, which Neal has a rule with the eyes with his Batman, right?
It does.
Yes.
It
So
does.
Pete is going to explain the rule.
The rule is when you're at a distance, you can't see his eyes. But when you're close and there's an emotion involved, he will put the eyes in.
And he's giving you the side eye right now.
Right. So he's
He certainly
emotionally
is.
telling you something with the side
That's
eye.
right. That's right.
He's like, I may not be looking directly at you, but
I'm looking at you.
I got my eye on
I'm
you.
watching you. I'm watching.
So this is a pencil and ink Neal, signed by Neal for 2,500. 8.5 by 11 is the size of this.
It's very hard for Neal because he was a very emotional artist. So a lot of the images that he used to create were based on facial expressions. So if you can't see the eyes, and that they're all windows to the soul, you can't really get the true emotion.
Right.
Look at the black guy that we saw earlier. His eyes really capture, how upset he is. And so, for him, it was really hard to just do the circle with the white.
Right.
So he always wanted, especially when there was an emotional scene, he always wanted to show the eyes.
Right.
And with Batman Odyssey, he got a chance.
Right. Exactly.
He could do whatever he wanted.
All right. So Andrea just brought up Thrill Kill for me, and I say thank you, Andrea, because I did completely forget. So I'm going to write it down. But I'm probably going to do it for the next time we are on air. Thrill Kill. She said I should pull out Thrill Kill for Tommy.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah. Except your dumb sister forgot. Okay.
Kelly Rest says, I'm still the only one who has had the big bomb. Yeah, poor Pete has not been present for the big bomb.
And he's very happy with that.
The cannon.
All right. My last one for tonight is Dead Man. Well, I'm going to explain the reason why we did not have Weird Wednesday. And actually, we did have Weird Wednesday because we had Pete here today. So
Because I'm weird.
Because I did fill that quota of a weird. Basically, Zia and Jason are going to be doing a.
Well, it's Free Comic Book Day on Saturday. And where Jason resides, the comic book store and the town itself has sort of gotten on board with this whole idea of having like a mini con free comic book day at the comic book store thing, which I will be posting up an ad for it. I have to make it. But Jason and I will be at the comic book store in Croton-on-Hudson. I believe it's called Third Universe, Third Dimension. I will put up a post on it. And I will have stuff on display. Jason will have stuff on display. And I will also have one of the Ben Casey girls is going to be on display at an art gallery there, along with some of the Ben Casey girl giclées. So I will be putting a post. Happy Tower says, that's close to me. I'm in New Rochelle. Yeah, if you know where Croton-on-Hudson is, that is the town. And like I said, I will try to get a post up on it tonight. I've been a little allergy crazed and work crazed. So, but I will get that information to you guys.
Anyway, since they're doing that this weekend, we're not going to be doing our Friday night show because Zia's going to be leaving early. So today will be our only show for this week, and then we'll be back again next week with more stuff.
Yeah, Andrea, credit where it's due. It was Chris's brilliant idea to go, is there an art gallery in that town that would show one of the paintings? And yeah, so it's going to be exciting.
Okay. So if Tommy is still with us and anyone else out there, because we have more of these, this is a story called Thrill Kill, which Neal did a million years ago, a long time ago.
68.
68? I thought he did in the 70s.
Oh,
Maybe
68.
right? 68.
This
And-
is all the Warren stuff.
Right. And as you know, IDW, who does the gallery books, this is kind of where gallery books started. If you notice, it even has the same color as the gallery books. That burnt ready color. So this is a thrill kill, which is a 10-page story, 8-page story, 12-page story. 12-page story that Neal did. And this is one of the first projects that Scott Doombear did. And Scott Doombear is who puts out those gallery books. Now, the inside of this is signed by Neal. Focus. Right, it's a nice hardback portfolio. And inside are the original, or not the originals, but prints of the original pages from the original pages.
Right, so they're photographic prints of the original, sort of like we do with Dad's 251 cover and
Right,
stuff.
or exactly what they do with the gallery book. Like I said, this was the precursor to gallery books by the same guy who does gallery books. So this is Thrill Kill. And we sell this. We have a bunch of these left. Not too many, but a bunch. But it's fantastic work by Neal. It's of a guy who goes up to the top of a building and starts shooting people.
But it's also, the writing is really good because it's a conversation between, I think,
A priest and a reporter.
I think so.
And it says it is written by Jim Stenstrom.
Yep.
So, and actually, the killer here, they shot. Oh no, his name went out of my head. It'll come back. One of the artists that used to hang up at Continuity. I know there are times where, especially Joe Barney, will put up photos of the old back room at Continuity where they used to use that for shooting. There have been pictures of like Walt Simonson and other people doing a battle scene in their back room. And this was, it was almost there, Paul. I can't get the last name. But anyway, he posed for the shooter in this.
And this was told it was published in Creepy 75 in November of 75.
See, that's what I thought. I thought it was like 70s. Because that's when Paul was around.
Apparently, Kelly Rusk has a black cover artist proof of this. Happy Tower says, disturbing but fantastic work.
Yes.
Fernando says, I was reading that issue.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough issue to read. I mean, maybe we've become more dull to it.
Yeah, this is definitely not for the kids, though.
We now have shooters out there, but
Yes.
At the time this came out, this was pretty heavy hitting. So, anyway, we have these available for $100 because I'm just down to a handful of these left. Andrea says there are some amazing panels in this. The priest is kind of unsettling. The panel of the man going through the window is particularly strong. So these are intense pages, or I should say prints of pages that come from the original pages. There is one panel that isn't great, not good, but great. So Tommy, I think they wanted me to pull this out for you. It was brought up like, did you show Tommy Thrill Kill? So I am now officially showing Tommy and anyone else out there Thrill Kill. We now sell this for $100. And these are large pages. Because Warren pages were done large.
Yeah, that I was going to say that looks bigger than 1117.
Yeah. And like I said, it comes in a really nice hardback portfolio. The portfolios are signed by Neal because we've had these for a really long time. The continuity. I don't know when he printed this. So. And you can tell they're Neal Adams pages because they're filthy. So. And they have all that Neal Adams dirt grime on them. Amazing. Paul Kirshner.
There you go.
Is who posed for the shooter. So, nice portfolio. Hard-hitting portfolio, let's put it that way. All right. So since we're closing in on close to 10 o'clock, and we had lots of fun tonight, I want to say thank you for people who did write kind words. We did hit Neal's 2 years that
Of
he
his passing.
is passed away from us. And you will notice that none of us really wrote anything this year. We're trying to move Neal to his birthday in a way to
Yeah.
celebrate him on his birthday versus the day that he did pass, because unfortunately he did pass on the youngest Adams kid, who is not a kid, he's now a man, but he'll always be a kid to me.
Yeah.
And I think
His
it's just
birthday.
it's hard to like celebrate a birthday and celebrate at the same
Yeah.
time. It's a real wonkiness. So we're trying to kind of get away from the day that Dad passed and get it to his birthday, because that's clear of everybody else in the family. And then, we'll do our writings and cool stuff for Dad on June 15th is when we'll be celebrating it.
Yep.
So it's not a matter that we forgot or anything horrible like that. It's just
No,
a matter.
I would just rather it that date go back to being my
Josh's birthday.
brother's
Right,
birthday,
exactly.
and not
have that heaviness
Yeah.
on his birthday. So that is the reason why, if any of you are questioning why we didn't
say anything.
that was, and actually what was funny was Josh was the one that went
and
and
posted something. Well, Josh did it the day after.
Okay.
He posted that the day
Right,
after.
exactly. So we're trying to give Josh back his birthday and still give Dad his birthday in a way. So that is that. So I just wanted to clear that before we turn into horrible children. So we will be back next Wednesday. Like I said, Friday. I'm going to enjoy a Friday off. Zia is going to enjoy, hopefully, a Friday off as well.
Well, I'll be over at Jason's, and Jason is really good at cooking, so.
There you go. But we'll be back the following Wednesday. Maybe I can drag Pete back. Because actually, we were going to talk about Death Watch. Right. So we're going to talk about Death Watch next Wednesday. And actually show you some stuff.
Okay.
Maybe we'll reveal some of the last pages of the last story. Because I'm hoping that maybe I can convince somebody out there to print Death Watch, and we would just have to do, how many pages are left of Death Watch to do?
Really, like 3 or 4.
4 pages left. We're complete.
Missed it by that much.
Right. So I know Death Watch is a long time coming. I think it was Death Watch 2000.
I know.
So we're 20 years, 24 years late.
24 years.
Well, maybe we'll
Let's
get it
say
printed by
25.
25. So we'll be 25 years late with the last issue. I think that's a winner.
That will be a record for us.
That would. And I don't think anyone would ever beat my record. So I will own that record. So I think we're going to talk Death Watch next Wednesday. So thanks again for coming. Thank you for the kind words that were put out there about Neal. We always appreciate it. And obviously we love him as well.
And we will discuss with Pete creating a Nerd Out Night show for Petey.
Right. We'll do Nerd Out Pete night. So,
Yep.
and
Says, great show. Love seeing Pete tonight. You guys are troopers. Thanks for all you do.
thank you,
Thank you,
Greg.
Greg.
Thank you. So thanks, everybody. Everybody have a great week. We love you guys as much as maybe you love us. We know you love Pete. We love you guys as much as well. And everybody have a great weekend this weekend.
And we know you love the ballistics department of continuity.
Right. We didn't blow bombs today. I didn't blow bombs today because I really just didn't want to clean up tonight.
That's
Sorry.
Fair enough.
Okay, Victor says, yes, bring back Pete. Be well, all have a great weekend. Aaron says, sorry, missed the one. I'm going to check it out now. Can't wait. My stuff comes tomorrow. Yay. And Happy Tower says, thank you. And Marilyn says, good night, all.
Hey, Marilyn.
All right, guys, we're going to say good night. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.